All right, let me let me say good morning, and I'm joined this morning um, by Police Chief Troy Finner, Nicole Christoph, who is the Deputy Director for Crime Stoppers. Rania sends her regrets. She's out of town. And also joined this morning by Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. But I am very honored and quite frankly moved to be joined this morning by Frank and Jasmine, who are the parents of Ashanti. Quite frankly, to be here this morning, I can't say enough for the two of you, and you're in my prayers. And then also joined by grandparents, Elaine Grant Williams, and also Wesley Casara, a grandfather, and then his wife Cynthia Casara, and then by one of Ashanti's aunt, Natasha Grant, is also present. Let me just start off by asking this city to pray for this entire family. I cannot even imagine what they are going through, but we are certainly asking the city to pray for this entire family. And we want them to know that we know the past several days have been heartbreaking on so many different levels. And that while Ashanti is in the hospital, and she's fighting boldly, and we want to pray for her in a very special way. The entire city is praying for her recovery, and I want each one of them to know, these parents in particular, to know that the people in this city, we are all praying for Ashanti. We've all seen photos of Ashanti from before the shooting. We know this is a beautiful young girl, 9 years old. Smile just radiates. And we've heard her classmates speak about her. So we know this is a beautiful young girl, and we want and asking this entire city to continue to lift her up, and quite frankly lift up the medical staff, the doctors, the nurses, and everyone who are providing excellent care for her. And we're asking for and hoping and praying for a full recovery. Her young life has been altered forever by a cowardly act, and I underscore that, by someone, a criminal driving our streets and freeways thinking he or she is above the law. And quite frankly, acting with a callous disregard for human life. We wanted to hold this press conference to keep the spotlight on what transpired on our roads in our city. And we know that someone knows, people know, who committed this act. To the person who's responsible, my advice would be to turn yourself in, because we're not going to stop until we find you. To the persons who know who committed this act and is holding back on that information, I'm going to ask you to rethink and put yourselves in the shoes of these parents and these family members, and imagine you standing up here with us. So I'm asking, and we are asking anyone with any information on the person who committed this heinous act on February the 8th between 9 and 10 p.m. started at 59 in Beltway, heading northbound on the 59 freeway. If you have any information, please provide that information such that we can bring this person to justice. And so we are asking you to do that. Earlier this month, I released One Safe Houston, a comprehensive plan to drive down crime in Houston using a holistic approach. Part of that plan includes working with business leaders and Crime Stoppers of Houston to increase the reward amount for anonymous information leading to the charging and or arrest of any felony suspect. A gun was used in this heinous act committed against Ashanti, and today we are announcing an increased award of $30,000 for information leading to the charging and or arrest of any felony suspect. And I want to thank Crime Stoppers. I want to thank people in our business community and others who are contributing to provide additional reward dollars to come to find the suspect, the persons responsible for this incident. Someone knows who the shooter is, and I encourage that someone to pick up the phone and call Crime Stopper Houston with the information police need to make an arrest and charge the shooter. We are not going to just walk away from this incident. We wanted to hold this press conference to keep the spotlight there and for people to recognize that, especially when things happen to our babies, when things happen to our kids, we will go the extra step, go the extra mile to find you, because we are talking about our children. We have already added, in One Safe Houston, already added 125 police officers to our street. That is already taking place. The Safe Roadway Initiative, which started back in July of 2021, remains in place, and we'll take additional steps to beef that up. And I am now asking HPD, Houston Public Works, Transit Star, now to look at cameras that will video record traffic on our streets and roadway, such that we can go back and replay them, especially when criminal acts are occurring. That would be a change. But it is important that we augment our boots on the ground with the use of technology. And so now I'm asking all of these groups to look at cameras to video record moving traffic on our streets and roadways throughout the city of Houston. 9-year-old Ashanti is an innocent child who was struck by a bullet. Ashanti should be in school with her teachers and classmates and returning to her family. Instead, she remains in a hospital fighting to recover. If that doesn't move people in this city, if that doesn't move folk who have a tendency to be on our roads and firing guns and injuring, and in some cases killing other persons, I don't know what will. If that doesn't move someone who has information to provide information on what happened to Ashanti now, I don't know what will. But in the meantime, this city shall continue to lift her up in prayer. We'll continue to pray for her and ask God to heal her body and give her a full recovery. Now let me pause to Chief Troy Finner.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, and thank everybody for being here. We sometimes miss out on the human element, and I talk about it. But this family, I want to thank them for standing with us. Mayor, thank you for your support. Congresswoman, thank you for being here. And thank you, Crime Stoppers, Ms. Christoph, for being here as well. This family, nobody knows the backstories, the tragedies that they have had to deal with even before this incident. We know it. So, look, I just want to thank them for being here and standing strong with us, a very spiritual family. And ask that the city, and the mayor said it, but I'm going to say it again, please pray for Ashanti. And I'm going to refer to her as Princess, because that's what she is. She's precious. It's one of our kids. And I had a script, but Mayor covered that. But the most important thing is that we all come together. Even the streets have rules. Even the streets. And I'm from the streets. I'm from this city, and we stood here before, and we called for the actions of every citizen. And I don't care what your background is. Somebody knows something, and we have to stand up, because if we allow this to go on in our city, it'll continue. We batting about 1,000, if not 1,000, when you put your hands on our kids in this city. We're going to get you in custody, but we need some information. That night, 9 p.m., Tuesday, suspect was described by the father. The vehicle this truck, a suspect, a Hispanic male, 20 to 30 years old, possibly a female passenger, in a white GMC Denali pickup truck, similar to this truck what we have pictured. After cutting it off several times, shot at the vehicle, striking our little princess. She's in critical condition, fighting for her life. But the most important thing, I want us all to stand up, and a message to the suspect or suspects. Best thing you need to do is turn yourself in, because every resource that we have, and all our law enforcement partners, just as I said before, we're going to come after you and get you in custody. I want to thank our Major Assaults Division. They have been working extremely hard to try to uncover some information, but at this time, we need more information. Do it because it's the right thing to do. I want to thank Tillman Fertitta for pledging $25,000 additional. I want to thank Crime Stoppers for what you do for us and law enforcement and the citizens every day for your rewards. Remember, you will remain anonymous. You called Crime Stoppers, and let's get some information in. Let's get this individual or these individuals behind some bars where they belong. So I thank you, and we'll entertain some questions. I want to get Congresswoman up here, and then Ms. Christoph from Crime Stoppers, and Assistant Chief Garcia will get you to translate after the questions.